Right, little video about Crawford v Madrimov. Was going to be a lot longer video today, but I've been pushed for time. Crawford v Madrimov, bit of dust has settled on that. I think it was a close fight. To me, there wasn't really any doubt who won, although it was close. I didn't think the two styles gelled particularly well in terms of making an entertaining fight. I don't think Madrimov's style is going to gel with many people's in terms of making an entertaining fight. Madrimov's got this very unorthodox, herky-jerky style. We talked about it in the video I did in the build-up. I think there was a certain air of caution about Crawford's performance, having someone like Madrimov in front of him who does a lot of unorthodox things, sometimes to his advantage, sometimes to his disadvantage. I think there was a certain air of caution with Crawford moving up in terms of the weight. I think he definitely felt the difference, having a guy naturally at that weight of Madrimov in front of him. So, like I said, I think there was a certain air of caution about his performance about that. Saying that, I thought he looked technically the better fighter, as you would expect, for a lot of the time, for the majority of the time. I think Madrimov done well. I said he'd do well. I did say in the build-up that a lot of people were thinking that was going to be a foregone conclusion, almost a cash grab by Crawford. I disagreed. I said Madrimov would provide a stiff test, which I think he did. A lot of the discussion is on talking about Crawford and is his power not going to transfer up? Did his power transfer up? I don't think there was ever a time really when Crawford fought in a way where he kind of looked for the stoppage or was sort of setting out for the stoppage. I think there was a lot of control and a lot of discipline about what Crawford done. I think he looked technically the better. Like I said, I think we'd expect that. I thought Madrimov handled himself well. A lot of people said in the build-up, being kind of only having 11 fights, kind of almost referencing in the fact that he was almost going to be a novice against a master. I didn't think that'd be the case. You only have to look at Madrimov's amateur record to know how proficient he is. The fact that he'd won a title after 11 fights kind of dispels that. So kind of as I thought it'd be close. I thought Madrimov would provide a test, which he did. And I thought Crawford looked good. A lot of people are saying, is it a step too far, because he didn't get the stoppage. He took the distance for the first time in a while. And let's talk about the punch power. You only had to look at Madrimov's face to know that the punches had effect. Did he show physical signs that the shots had effect? Not really. But Crawford's not really a guy that kind of really sets his feet. He didn't really set his feet that much in the stuff. I think it was round 12 where he landed like 2 uppercuts in succession, which were lovely. Didn't have much of an effect. But Madrimov is, all those Stani fighters, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, they're all super tough, all super durable. So I wouldn't read too much into that. Was what it was. Kind of was what I expected. A lot of the talk now is, surrounding Crawford v Canelo. Now, to me, that's not even really a fight that I'm that bothered about seeing. Do I see that as, it's too many weights up for Crawford really to be effective against someone with a chin of Canelo. I think, would many argue that has Canelo got one of the best chins, if not the best chin at the moment in world boxing? Would you expect Crawford to, stop Canelo? Not really, would you? Maybe outpoint him, but Canelo's been outpointed before by Bivol comfortably, but Bivol's a far bigger fighter, fights at a naturally bigger weight. So I don't really see a lot of relevance or a lot of point to a Canelo-Crawford fight. I see the relevance to both of them two because it's a massive earner for both. Canelo was on a podcast in the last couple of days saying how whoever he fights, he gets 80% of everything. So for that reason, I don't see that fight happening either, even with the influence of Mr. Shake's money, because Crawford ain't settling for 20%. Canelo settles for nothing less than 80%, and he said Crawford is going to cost 150 million in his pocket, which I don't think Turkey Al Sheikh he's kind of said that won't happen. He won't pay that. And if 150 million is Canelo's end, what is Crawford's end? What is he going to want his end to be? So I just really don't see that fight as being relevant or meaningful, you know, other than either of them two making a shit ton of cash. And who would begrudge them that? Not me. So going back to the Madrimov fight, listen, it's kind of one of them fights that was not that easy to score, and I didn't score it round by round. I was going to watch it live, ended up falling asleep, so I missed it. Watched it after the event, already knowing the result. Couldn't hide from the result, really, could you? But had that been scored a draw, would I have screamed outrage? Not really. Although, you know, I think Crawford won for me. His work was certainly the cuter. That was always going to be the case. Again, like I said, because of the unorthodox things that Madrimov does. You kind of need someone. Madrimov wants someone who fights with a lot of speed and kind of a lot of speed of foot, a lot of speed of movement, because I think that will aid his speed of foot and speed of movement. Crawford fights in a really nice flow state kind of style. There's no rush or no urgency really for what he does. Everything's super controlled, has a lovely flow about it, a lovely artistry about it, about what Canelo does. Madrimov is completely different. Saying that, I did expect Madrimov to make more use of the unorthodox things he does. I expected him to use his sort of switch hitting a lot more, but you know, was what it was. Decent fight. Like I said, don't think the styles mixed that well in terms of that translating into a really entertaining fight. It was entertaining enough in the sense of there was enough suspense in it, and Madrimov provided enough competition or opposition to make it interesting in terms of the outcome. Although, like I say, I think Crawford won. I think the 115, 113s were they? I think we're kind of all right, kind of right. The question is now, where does Crawford go? Madrimov comes again. He's 12 bouts, so he's going to come again at that weight. I thought Crawford actually looked in the ring. There was a lot of talk about the size difference, and I mentioned it before. I thought Crawford didn't look any smaller than Madrimov. From certain angles, he kind of physically looked bigger. Madrimov's got great muscle tone, you know, super big quads, good calves, good shoulders. But yeah, Crawford didn't look undersized at the weight at all, did he? But it's kind of what Crawford does next, isn't it? Where does he go from here? For me, I think the target for Crawford would be undisputed at this weight. I don't think he needs to move any higher. I think moving up to certainly not 168. You know, I'd leave that alone. If he wants to finish his career undefeated, which I think he will, I don't think it's out of the way to say look for undisputed at this weight, maybe. But to go any higher, don't think it's going to do Crawford any favours. You know, punch power. I thought his punches were still thudding home, but certainly, you know, I just think Madrimov's got a good chin. I think all those are stunning fighters got good chins, as I said. So yeah, not much to say about that. What a couple of the other things from the weekend. That 3-round epic on the Boxer card. We'll have a chat about that tomorrow, because that was something to behold. That was. But yeah, that's it. Crawford Madrimov. That's all I've got to say, really. I'm out.